Yep. Hello, everyone. So in last video, we have understood the properties in CSS. We have just discussed about the properties in CSS. We have discussed what is property and what CSS is providing to us. Apart from that, we have discussed the structure of CSS property. So if you take any CSS property, every CSS property will be in the key value pair. It will be in the key value pair. Every CSS property will be in the key value pair. Now, for certain properties, you will have single value, or for certain properties, you can have multiple values. You can have multiple values. The key names of all the CSS properties are predefined. Key names of all the CSS properties are predefined. So we cannot use the name that we want for the CSS properties as a key name. So remember this point, key names of all the CSS properties are predefined, Let's understand the syntax of CSS property. In this video, let's try to understand the syntax of CSS property. So if you take any CSS property, every CSS property will have some kind of key. Then we have to add colon, and it will have some value. It can be a single value, or some properties might have set of values. And then we have to add semicolon. So here, semicolon indicates the end of CSS property. Semicolon indicates end of CSS property. So here, semicolon indicates end of CSS property. Every CSS property is going to give some kind of style or design. Every CSS property is going to use some kind of style or design. So this is how the syntax of your CSS property will be. Example. Let's take one example. So there is a CSS property called background color. So the key name of that CSS property is background hyphen color, colon, and here we can mention any color name or color code. You can mention color name or color code. For example, I can mention the color name as a red. The moment I apply this CSS property on any UI component, that UI component background color will be red. That UI component background color will become red. So the example of a CSS property is background color. In the same way, we have one more example, that is color. And the value of this color property is also, you can give any name of the color. For example, I'm just adding here blue and semicolon. As I have mentioned, semicolon indicates the end of that CSS property. So this is just a small video where I have tried to explain the syntax of CSS property. And this is the two examples of CSS properties. In this way, in this series, we are going to learn a lot of CSS properties, and we are going to see what are the purpose, what are the styles, designs, those CSS properties are going to provide to us. And as per our requirement, or according to our requirement, how to use those CSS properties to style or design our UI components. Yeah, that's all, guys. Remaining things we will see in the next video.